Love. Rising UFC lightweight star Paddy Pimblett recently confirmed to fans that he's planning on fighting in the octagon before the end of the year. An English professional mixed martial artist and a champion who won many hearts. He currently competes in the lightweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC. A professional since 2012, Pimblett is a former Cage Warriors featherweight champion. Influenced by the fight between Diego Sanchez and Clay Guida, the Ultimate Fighter 9 finale, he started training in mixed martial arts at the age of 14, joining Next Generation MMA and deciding he would compete in the sport for a living shortly after. Pimblett made his debut in 2012, aged 17, racking up a 3-0 record before signing with Cage Warriors a year later. In 2016, he claimed Cage Warriors Featherweight Championship, beating Johnny Friche at the Echo Arena in Liverpool, and defended it once against Julian Erosa, winning a highly controversial unanimous decision. In April 2017, Pimblett lost it against Nad Narimani and moved up to lightweight. After a win, he challenged for the Cage Warriors Lightweight Championship, losing by unanimous decision to Soren Bach. After 2 more wins in the organization, Pimblett signed a contract with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Pimblett had previously declined 2 UFC deals, getting better financial offers from Cage Warriors. Pimblett had made his promotional debut against Luigi Vendramini on September 4, 2021 at UFC Fight Night 191. Pimblett won the bout via knockout in the first round. This fight earned him a Performance of the Night bonus. In October 2021, Pimblett signed an endorsement deal with Barstool Sports worth over $1 million. Pimblett faced Rodrigo Vargas on 19th March 2022 at UFC Fight Night 204. He won the fight via submission in round 1. With this win, he received his second consecutive Performance of the Night award. Paddy would later reveal he made $12,000 to show and $12,000 to win. Paddy next faced Jordan Levitt on 23 July 2022 at UFC Fight Night. Blades vs. Espinal. He won the fight via rear naked choke submission in the second round. This win earned him the Performance of the Night award. And now, with his rising popularity, there are talks about him among people, and some are expecting him to be the next UFC champion. Who will Paddy Pimblett next fight be against? UFC 282 is set to take place inside the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and will be Pimblett's first fight in the United States since his UFC debut in September of last year. Welcoming back to the U.S. shores will be 11-bout Octagon veteran Jared Gordon. The matchup is another solid step up the competition and a booking the New York native actually called for recently. When will his next fight be? Paddy Pimblett is aiming to fight again before the end of the year after he forced a submission by choking out Jordan Levitt at UFC London in July. Liverpool star has not fought since his round 2 submission victory over Dana White's Contender Series alum Levitt 4 months ago. Pimblett has previously kept things pretty hush-hush about when his next fight could take place. The triumphant Scouser recently arrived back in the UK after a long trip stateside to America during his time away from the Octagon, where he decided to take on a group of U.S. Marines in training. But the Brit is optimistic that he could be back fighting as early as December, if he manages to find an opponent in time. He made those comments while working as a commentator during a live broadcast of Cage Warriors 144 in Rome on Friday, 2 weeks after revealing he was waiting for an opponent to step up and sign the dotted line. Baddy has his next fight set. The UFC announced Saturday that Pimblett would share the octagon with Jared Gordon at UFC 282. The upcoming pay-per-view event scheduled for December 10th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. I'm planning on fighting December 10th at UFC 282. I'm planning on fighting on that December 10th event. I'm just waiting for an opponent, lad. I'm just waiting for an opponent to step up and sign the dotted line. Everyone talks about the baddie. Everyone talks about fighting me. When the contract is in front of them, they're not as confident. Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. Gordon has won 4 of his last 5 fights in the UFC and seems to be hitting a peak period in his fighting career. After splitting his first 6 bouts in the promotion, he had evolved into the durable and legitimate challenge for any fighter in the division. The American offers the baddie his toughest test yet as a member of the UFC roster. Gordon has heart of guts for days. He'll not waver or be flustered by trash talk in a firefight in the octagon. This could be another fight for Pimblett where his toughness and ability to stay mentally focused in a bout is tested by a fighter who will not relent because he knows the massive name-building opportunity he has if he can derail the Pimblett hype train. The UFC continues to slowly develop its top star from the United Kingdom, and that is not a bad thing. Paddy is only 27 and has a monumental long-term upside for the promotion. Letting him continue to grow in challenging but not overall difficult matchups is a smart way to groom what could be one of the future faces of the UFC. Across from Paddy will be Gordon, a veteran who has compiled a record of 7-4 in the promotion. Flash has won 4 of the past 5, with his only loss coming to Grant Dawson at UFC Vegas 53 this past April. Pimblett vs. Gordon was rumored to happen earlier this year, but it did not materialize until now. UFC 282 is headlined by a light heavyweight championship rematch between Jiří Procházka and Glover Teixeira. What makes Paddy Pimblett so popular? The hype surrounding Pimblett isn't smoke and mirrors. He's a serious MMA talent and stamped his place as the most popular competitor to ever compete in the UK's best cage fighting organization, Cage Warriors. He gained a reputation as Cage Warrior, most marketable star after headlining 3 events for the promotion. Paddy won the organization's featherweight title in 2016 and almost matched Cage Warrior's alum McGregor when he came up short in a 2018 bid to be the 2-division champion. In his personal life, Paddy describes himself as a socialist and an opponent of the Conservative Party. He supports the Liverpool-wide boycott of the Sun newspaper. Paddy has said that his trademark floppy hair and lack of tattoos allows children to identify with him in a way that would not be possible for them to do so if he was a big, hard fella with lots of tattoos. He's a supporter of Liverpool FC and has expressed a desire to fight at the team's home stadium of Anfield. Also, he's popular among his fans for speaking about his mental health awareness, especially for men. People happen to really love him for that, rightfully so. Part of Pimblett's fanfare is the unabashed confidence he has in himself. It's a reason why many observers of the sport have compared him to other brash UK MMA greats and former UFC champion Conor McGregor and Michael Bisping. Pimblett is a fascinating talent because his Beatle-style mop-top haircut makes him look like a well-mannered individual, but then he'll unleash a foul-mouthed torrent of trash talk that appeals to fans of bold combat athletes like Nate Diaz and Jake Paul. The money-making potential for the Baddy brand is so undeniable that popular sports site Barstool Sports gave him a 7-figure deal in 2021 to be the brand ambassador and content creator, an unheard-of feat for a fighter with only 1 UFC fight under their belt. Pimblett has an established history of gaining a serious amount of weight in between fights as he dives into his love of sugar-filled or fatty foods when he's not in fight camp. However, he has yet to have any issues when it comes to time to weigh in before his UFC bouts. Following his win over Jordan Levite, the Englishman touched many fans with the revelation of a friend's death by suicide before the fight. He then called for men to be more willing to express their emotions during tough times because it could have saved his friend's life. Pimblett's enemies list extended into the world of professional wrestling when he and AEW World Champion MJF traded barbs and fight threats on Twitter in November. Paddy Pimblett's net worth. Some say that the best measure of a fighter's success is in the cash they stack up from a career of professional fights. From what we could gather, we can say that over his short career, Pimblett has amassed an estimated net worth of between $1 and $5 million. And that's pretty impressive.